Hello, I'm going to be talking about the heatwave, the 1970s and vacuum cleaners. And what happened was I was reading the Metro. I was attracted by this headline: Britain on red alert. Emergency services struggling to cope on hottest day ever. Oh, for goodness sake, hottest day ever. Right, we might be up into the 30s and it might briefly touch the 40s. You never know. But there are countries that do this quite regularly in the summertime, and they're not on red alert. They are just prepared. They have their water supplies and they just sort things out, and they don't terrify people with Britain on red alert. Anyway, I went to the Metro. Please note this tasteful design for their name. I'm sure a lot of people are starting to think, what is this? Some sort of a seasonal religion like, Christmas or Ramadan or something. And I found this headline: Vicar caught in flagrante with Henry the Hoover. Right, well, I want to tell you about the 1960s and 1970s. I don't know whether it's changed now, but what happened was that there was some sort of law or exception. Anyway, the Church of England could not sue for libel. So there were newspapers, especially the News of the World, the late lamented News of the World, which its staple was headlines about Randy Vicars. And whether the stories were true or not, the church couldn't sue for libel. And so we're right back to the 70s here with a Randy Vicars story. It says here, a retired vicar has been put on the sex offenders register after he was caught getting intimate with a Henry Hoover. Okay, so that's the first sign that we're back in the 70s. And then here we are, the second sign: extreme heat warning extended by extra 24 hours with people urged to stay inside. Okay, and here's a map showing how dreadfully Britain is going to be affected, or at least the southeast of the country, including part of Wales. For a change. Right, and there are some nice, there's a suitably hysterical looking weather reporter here, and here's a nice picture of somebody walking through town with a fan. Well, reasonable enough. If one office doesn't have a fan, he might be bringing one. But what really interested me was this little thing down here, which I haven't clicked on, but it says, now we're being warned against driving during the heat wave if it hits 40°C. So, we're being told, be afraid, be very afraid, the weather's terrible. And we're being told that there are Randy Vicars. And we're also having news of political instability and ructions in the Conservative Party, and rebellion in the Labour Party, and riots in the streets, which was also a feature, not so much in Britain, but certainly on the continent. A feature of the 70s, and it looks like civilization is going backwards, doesn't it? Well, I don't know. There's the 60s and the 70s and the 60s. The 60s were a fairly good time, really, a time of optimism. 50s were quite grim here in Britain, as I understand it. The 40s were even grimmer. And of course quite nasty. So maybe we can go back to the 70s and just stay there for a while until we've got ourselves sorted out. Right, that's it. Please like this video, share, subscribe. Yeah, check your subscription if you're on YouTube. Things keep dropping out. And like, share, subscribe. And subscribe to @granniopteryx on Twitter, Gab or Parler. It doesn't matter which, but I let you know when I've uploaded a video on one of those, so you won't miss one. And please support the channel if you can. For those of you who are doing that, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the granniopteryx design or Grambo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share, share, share.